I got 10 great poems that you could memorize today. Hey, holidays every day, and today's holiday is Random Acts of Poetry Day. Now, minus the random acts part, I guess, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 great poems. They're very short, and I'm going to try to decipher them and determine what they actually mean on camera here. And you guys can absolutely, I would actually prefer if you guys you joined in the comments below. So yeah, I mean, it's not really random acts, but I mean, hey, they're 10 poems that you can memorize today because they're so short. So why don't you take this video, memorize some of the poems, and then at random points throughout today, just say it. Just out of nowhere. Random acts of poetry. And record yourself doing it. Maybe it'll be featured in next week's episode. You know how it works. Anyway, poem number one, called Jamesian by Thom, Gunn. The relationship consisted in discussing if it existed. Now, I think this pretty much means there was a relationship and it only lasted because they were discussing whether it should be at all, but they never made a decision. You know, they would always discuss it, and nothing would ever be decided. So the relationship just stayed. And I think this happens a lot with people, and you know, they just not just specifically relationships, but different situations in life. And I think, you know, it sucks because kind of waste your life doing it, you know? Poem number 2, You Fit Into Me by Margaret, Atwood. You fit into me like a hook into an eye. A fish hook, an open eye. This one is really difficult for me. I think it means something like, you know, we're compatible, we fit, and we're in love, but keep an open eye. Because love can really hurt, and that, you know, that's the fish hook part. Like, you know, you fit into me like a hook into the eye, and then it emphasizes a fish hook, like emphasizing love can hurt. Keep an open eye. You know, it may be a little stretching, but that was difficult. What do you guys think about that one? Poem number 3, Unfortunate Coincidence by Dorothy Parker. By the time you swear you're his, shivering and sighing, and he vows his passion is infinity and undying. Lady, make a note of this. One of you is lying. Basically, don't make promises, especially if you're in love, because love can be very amplified when you first feel it towards somebody, and people tend to make promises that don't end up being a promise because they didn't realize that's how they would actually feel about that person later on in life. Poem number 4, First Fig by Edna St. Vincent Millay. I don't know who Edna is, but she probably had glasses and she probably wore them like this. That name just puts, I don't know, something about that name. Anyway, my candle burns at both ends. It will not last the night, but ah, my foes, and oh, my friends, it gives a lovely light. Basically, like, the candle burns at both ends, unlike other candles that just burn at one end, but the light is twice as bright. So she may think she has something wrong with her that makes her less important, so she's, you know, feeling less confident faster, I guess you could say. But really, she's twice as important because that certain thing that she feels unconfident about makes her special. Poem number 5, 1079 by Monk Ryokan. And this was actually written after thieves had broken into his hut. At least the robbers left this one thing behind. Moon in my window. And I think that is amazing. It's just optimism, you know? That is, I mean, so many things in life, especially us Americans, take for granted. You know, we get so upset over these things. This person he lives in a hut, first of all. Let's start there. Second of all, he got robbed, and he's just, at least they left the moon in my window. At least he's still alive. Could you imagine being that low in life? The only positive thing you can look at is being alive? Petty Americans. Poem number 6, We Know This Much by Sappho. Death is an evil. We have the gods' word for it. They too would die if death were a good thing. I think this is saying that, since gods are immortal and gods are good, it's suggesting that death is evil, like it says. So, yeah, death is evil because gods are good and gods don't die. So is death a bad thing? Or, do all of us go to hell when we die? I don't know. It's called We Know This Much, but I'm not knowing much. Number 7, Tourists by D.H. Lawrence. There is nothing to look at anymore. Everything has been seen to death. And I think this one's pretty clear. Maybe I'm just looking at it at a very literal sense, but, I guess more specifically, tourists, they, basically, you need to have something in life to look forward to. When you're a tourist and you go everywhere, once you've gone everywhere, it's like, well, I could just die now. I mean, what's the point? There's nothing to look at anymore. Everything's been seen to death. What do I do? So take the things that you look forward to doing, and, if you don't end up doing them, look at it as a good thing. Look at it as a thing that, it's something that kept you feeling on top. Maybe someday I could do that. And maybe it's a good thing that you didn't actually end up doing that. Number 8, Devotion by Robert Frost. The heart can think of no devotion greater than being shore to the ocean, holding the curve of one position, counting in endless repetition. I'm pretty sure this means true devotion to something is just repetitiveness. I mean, that's what devotion is. It's repetitive acts. Just like a shore is the ocean to the shore. I would have said ocean to the shore. Just for eternity, it's just washing up on the shore every day, 24/7. That ocean is devoted to that shore. And that's what it takes to be devoted to somebody or to something. Number 9, Passing Time by Maya Angelou. Your skin like dawn, mine like dusk. One paints the beginning of a certain end, the other the end of a certain beginning. I'm pretty sure this has a racial theme to it, saying, you could say black and white people are different, just like you can say the beginning of a certain end and the end of a certain beginning are two different sayings, but they actually mean the same thing. The beginning of a certain end and the end of a certain beginning. They mean the same thing. It's just said differently, just like skin. Equality, people. Number 10, Form by Pete Winslow. Peter, Pumpkin Eater is a trochaic tetrameter. That's it. I mean, that's pretty simple. Peter, Pumpkin Eater is a trochaic tetrameter. A trochaic tetrameter is a meter in poetry consisting of 4 feet of trochees. And a trochee is a long or stressed syllable followed by a short or unstressed syllable. Peter, Pumpkin Eater. Trochaic tetrameter, people. Forget what it's called every time I say it. I've written my own poem because I was very inspired after reading all of these. It is called Success or Failure. Every day could be another for success. Failure leads me to be depressed. So that thought I shall suppress. And now you will all disrespect because this poem is pointless and has nothing to address. Beat that one. Thanks for watching this episode of Hey. Make sure to rewatch this episode and listen to all those poems when you're high. Just saying. You know, and then comment down below your interpretation of them. Just saying. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like I said, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe because I will love you forever. And I'll see you guys on Friday, people. Tune in Friday. Same place, same time. Usually 6 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes it could be later if I got something going on, but usually 6 a.m. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This show learn about uncommon holidays and learn some cool stuff. Watch me do weird things or something. That's usually what I do. Make sure to suggest ideas down in the description below. And then that link at the very bottom. I'm done.